Welcome to the second episode of my podcast, The Best Version of You. And I'm so glad to be doing this. So, in the last episode, I did mention that today we'll be talking about how do you combat self doubt. Because no matter how prepared you are, no matter how much inner work you do, as soon as you move to the next level, more like the next inner level, as soon as you peel that one more layer and you're closer to the truest and highest version of yourself, another block comes in. you know Self-doubt might come in a bigger way than before, and most likely it will keep happening, because it's like this resistance. So what do you need to do to be ready with your toolkit to combat it? Be ready for it when it happens. So to come to that, the biggest weapon you have against self-doubt is self-belief. What is self-belief? Self-belief is basically you believing in yourself no matter what the odds, no matter what the obstacles, no matter what the challenges, most importantly, even when nobody else is believing in you, and most likely when you haven't reached your highest potential. So that is what self-belief is. Right? It seems like a tall order, isn't it? Let's break it down. How do you keep working towards your self-belief? So you keep watering your self-love and self-acceptance, like we talked already in the last episode. Just to brush things up. Self-love and self-acceptance, we talked about the self-love mirror exercise. Looking at yourself in the mirror, looking deep in your eyes, telling yourself how much you love yourself. So it's like, I love you, Ruchi, truly, deeply, unconditionally. I truly love and accept all parts of you. So it's like, when you tell a child, you truly love them for who they are, not for who you want them to be or the version of them that you would find more loving. So that's the love and acceptance you're giving your inner child. You're meeting your own unmet needs. You're being your own loving parent, coming from a place of unconditional love and acceptance. Sometimes I have been asked this question, do you think, Ruchi, that will make me start to feel complacent about my goals? That's not true at all. Um, when do you want to work better towards something? When you're criticized for your mistake, or when you're applauded for what you're doing better? I'm talking about genuine praise, genuinely appreciating your strengths. I think that definitely makes us feel that, oh yes, I want to take that extra step, rather than somebody tell you, oh, you can't do it, you won't be able to do it. And guess what? Mostly it's nobody else but ourselves, our own inner voice telling ourselves, no, you can't do it. No. So when that voice comes up, that's when you combat self-doubt with your proud list, which is basically what you've written it down, all the challenges that you've overcome in the last 10 years of your life: physical, mental, emotional, personal, professional. Start with the last 10 years, and then of course we can come to shorter time blocks of last 5 years, last 6 months, last 2 weeks. But let's start with 10 years, because only 10 years is a very long time, and that actually shows you how far you have come, right? I want to just give a summary of who I am, why am I here, why am I talking about all of those things. Because the last thing I want to do is preach in any way. The whole intention of being here talking about things is basically sharing my own journey. And when I share my own journey, I will also be talking all about the roadblocks that I've faced. And generally, they are more on the inward journey. How do you get past them? The failures that I've done, the mistakes that I've done, all of it, right? With that, we come to the idea of what is success. There is such a big deal about being successful in life. Everybody wants to be successful in life. I want you to take a pause and ask yourself this question: what does success mean to me? No, really, what does success mean to me? Think about it. Um, does it mean a particular house, a particular job, spouse of my dreams, children of my dreams, bank balance of my dreams? Amazing, great, awesome. Then what? Is that it? I mean, that's the idea we have been sold to, isn't it? You'll meet people who have got all of that and still they're not feeling fulfilled. It doesn't match their idea, their perception of success. You know why? Because all of us are unique beings, we are unlimited beings who have learned to believe that we are limited into, I don't know, this is what I can do, this is who I can be. So it's time to think out of the box and simply ask yourself, what is your idea of success? And then we have to peel a few layers here. Not the idea of success that you've been sold to by, I don't know, when you were growing up, when you learned from your surroundings or what everybody else feels around you. Let's go deeper. What does a fulfilled, meaningful, purposeful life look for you? If you can, if you're not driving at the moment, you can take a pen to paper and actually just go deep into it. Once you do that, you will realize that the concept of a meaningful, purposeful life varies widely from person to person, completely. I'm going to tell you in summary, my story, because of course, this podcast is all about you. My intention is to be able to reach out to that one person who's feeling stuck and feeling that, no, 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 you can do it, I can't. Please, please, please believe me when I say I can, anybody can, because I've struggled with low self esteem, low self confidence, low self worth, filled with self doubt. So if I can come far, and as I say, it's always a journey. Life is not about success or failure. Life is about learning and growth. That is what we are here for. About the magic of the journey, you know. So now I can proudly say that I'm an international best-selling author. But say I'm sitting here and somebody just told me, okay, you are this. Will it really give me any joy? I mean, yeah, okay, great, amazing. Maybe I'll make a few posts here and there, but what more? I think the whole joy comes from, how the whole journey began. In the journey, the person I had to become, the layers I had to peel to become, to find the best version of me, the version of me, the story I have to tell, the journey of mine that I want to share in this book called Voices of Impact, which Melanie Woods is the one. She's got a series of book 1, 2, 3, and 4. And my story has been now a part of the book 4 with another 21 amazing, purely awesome ladies. So in this journey, I encountered everything from, am I even worthy of fitting with these amazing ladies? Okay. Is my story worth being told? Who's going to read it? So, see, as I'm saying, when you take the next step, a new sort of self doubt might creep in, at the next step. And when we intellectualize it, we call it the imposter syndrome. How do you get past it? I think the simplest step is to take the next step. Do not give in to the overwhelm of things. Whenever you're feeling completely overwhelmed by, oh my God, I need to do this, 10 things, even when you're wanting to follow your dreams, your calling, whatever that is, it's a step-by-step approach, right? I think I made one small promise to myself, and that always works for me, no matter how the day unfolds, no matter what the challenges are, how smooth or how rough it goes, which is, when you are feeling completely overwhelmed, take the next small step. Take the next small step. Do not think about 10 steps ahead. Take just the next small step. Some days it's going to be, you're going to get everything done. And some days it's going to be like 2 weeks back, I was down with viral and I was feeling completely off. What can I do? I mean, there's limited stuff that I can do, isn't it? I need to take care of my own physical health first to be actually up to the mark, to go ahead. So that is so important. before the self-doubt turns into imposter syndrome, turn it, like literally, don't run away from it. Have the courage to face it, look it in the eye, and show your proud list and say, I have done this before, I will do it again, and I'll keep doing it. Think of self-doubt as this frenemy, friend and enemy. It's like it's not always coming to hold you back. It's like it's coming to nudge you, to challenge you. Are you going to be stuck here, or are you going to take the next step? So on my, I mean, I'm just trying to think, rather than taking the whole of the time in sharing my journey, sharing the most important parts of it, which will make the most sense to what we are talking about. So once, I found rapid transformation therapy through my own personal struggles. I was going through postpartum depression. Through that, okay, so yes, here I am, a new mom, wanting to be the best mom for my little one. I really wanted to be a conscious parent because with rapid transformational therapy, I knew that most of the limiting beliefs, most of the subconscious blocks, unfortunately, come into play during the first 5 years of your life, and then you're moving with that blueprint for the rest of your life. Yes, that can be done with rapid transformational therapy. I've been there, I've done that, I have experienced it myself, so it can be undone. But yeah, that was my goal. So, where do we start? So, here I am, a new therapist, worrying about, oh my God, how do I even put myself out there? So, in the last 3 years, it was always a step by step approach. It's not like, one fine day I woke up and said, that's it. I love myself unconditionally. I accept myself unconditionally. There's no self doubt in my system anywhere around me. It's never ever creeping up. Self worth, that's never been an issue for me. I'm not talking about turning your face around or maybe like, hiding yourself like an ostrich. If there's an issue, you deal with it. There are triggers in life. As I always say, triggers are like things sitting on the landmines. Anything that triggers you, that's actually your friend. You know, I was this person. Even if I'm reading a book, something triggers me. That's it. Close and run away from it. Don't do that. Triggers are your friend. They're pointing you in the directions of what is holding you back. How do you go past it? In just the last episode, we talked about this vehicle that we have, which is the physical mental vital complex that you have taken for a reason, for a rhyme, a reason, a purpose. And we are so beautifully, magically, different for a reason. Because, you take a sports car for a reason, you take some other kind of car for a reason. So you and me and each one of us, we are amazing, unlimited beings who have taken up these vehicles to be able to touch, align with other souls in evolution, and share our gifts. Now, the worst thing you can ever do for self doubt is going around comparing yourself to anybody else. I understand it's a very tough habit to give up, and I still struggle with it. So, the best alternative is you are your only comparison. So whenever self-doubt creeps in, whenever imposter syndrome creeps in, it's always like, you do not fit in here. Everybody else here is better than you. They know better than you. What do you have to offer? And all the mean things, that come up as an inner dialogue. So the problem is this downward spiral goes very fast. So you have to have your toolkit ready and handy. You can't go down the rabbit hole and then want to come back up. So the magical word is stepping back and being ready to get hold of the toolkit. So simplest thing is like, this is my vision board, my action board, my activity board. I've got my proud list on there, right? And as I said, you can make a proud list for the last 6 months, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. But I think starting with 10 years is, well, I would say most profound, but because it gives you the leaps and bounds that you have progressed, which we generally don't register on a daily basis because we are still stuck up with, oh, this is not working my way, that is not working my way. Second thing, gratitude list. I know it sounds cliche, but please hear me out. It will only take 2 minutes of your time. So just naming 5 things that you're grateful for. It doesn't always have to be things. It could be people, it could be memories, it could be some kind gesture for somebody else, it could be anything that you're grateful for. Because this actually creates a profound mindset shift. Because self doubt comes from a place of negativity where you're doubting yourself. Gratitude helps change the narrative. There's so many amazing, even on the toughest day, if you just look, there is always something you can be grateful for. You're here, you're giving the time, the energy to invest in yourself, which is your biggest asset, right? We are told about investments in houses and a whole lot of other things. But what is the biggest investment, right? So you're a soul who has taken up this vehicle, this amazing, spectacular vehicle. What could be more important than letting go of all these layers? So I bought this red Ferrari and kept it in my garage, nice and safe, and covered it in like 50 layers of covers. I'm just happy thinking it's there. Sounds funny, isn't it? If that red Ferrari doesn't resonate, think of the most amazing thing you can think of, the shiniest diamond, or anything that resonates with you. Now we need to get rid of all these layers that keep covering up, because we took up this amazing vehicle for a reason. Self-awareness, understanding of self, you can use it to the best potential, highest potential, when you understand how it functions rather than just having it. So that's how your true potential is. It's there. That red Ferrari, covering up with layers and layers of conditioning, self doubt, lack of self love, lack of self acceptance. A whole lot of these things are subconscious and some of them are conscious. So 95% of our functioning is unfortunately subconscious, which has been, so all the subconscious blocks are generally quite deeply rooted. So there are things that you can do consciously to help, like, the self love mirror exercise, the proud list, the 555 deep breathing, meditating, connecting with yourself every single day. If meditating sounds like a big word, just reconnecting with yourself, because we are so outwardly focused. But then, yes, there are subconscious blocks which do need deeper healing. And that's when rapid transformational therapy came into play for me. So here I am 3 years back thinking, I'm only living for the weekends. Like, yes, I love to serve my patients, but NHS is far stretched. I'm lacking fulfillment in my day to day. Where do I go from here? So you take one single step. Okay, how do I understand myself more? And see, any progress, it is not linear. It's not like this. It's like you progress, sometimes you stagnate, sometimes you even go down a bit. There are off days. Then you progress back again. Then maybe there is a downhill. Then you streamline again. So, unfortunately, progress, your realignment with yourself, your understanding, self love, self acceptance is not always like this. There will be down days. You have to learn, understand, and train yourself how to have a good bad day. Athletes who train for years and years and years and years still have bad days. All of us would. Failure is not death. Challenges are not death. Failure is generally there to possibly give you another alternative, show you how you can do it better, sometimes even to point you in a direction that is better for you. Failures actually teaches far more than success would. And I genuinely believe, I was this person, if I would look up like, oh, wow, this person's just amazing. But now I can tell you, and, with all the amazing stories I've read, I've listened to, my own journey, none of the achievements, anybody you're seeing in your social media feed and you're thinking, oh, wow, they have been this overnight success. That's not true. And because unfortunately we live in this culture of, where only your successes are portrayed, but all the stepping stones, all the mistakes that they made, all the failures that they made, they're not always shared. I mean, it's changing. Yes, people love to share the whole journey now because it's far more human. You can learn so much more than somebody just saying, I've done this. If I say, yes, I'm an international speaker, I'm an international best-selling author. Okay, amazing, great. But then I have to keep reminding myself that all of those things, my why is bigger than that. My why is to be able to touch, inspire, transform 1 million lives, one life at a time. So being an international speaker, being a rapid transformational therapy clinical hypnotherapist, training to be a coach with Jay Shetty, these are all means goals. So I need to keep things in check that I don't get flown away with that. That's why finding your why, what brings you fulfillment, this why is again another one in your toolkit which will keep you going when self-doubt comes in. So write your why in a big one and then keep it there. For example, self-doubt came in when I'm like, okay, I'm going to be in Paris and I've been invited to be the speaker in this amazing group, possibly so many people knowing so much more, being so much more than me. How do I hold my ground? I'll share this beautiful definition of self-love that came my way from a podcast that I was listening to by Roxy Nafusi. So her journey is amazing, spectacular, I think really worth listening to. And she shares that self-love and self-acceptance looks like, especially it resonated with me because on my journey towards being a speaker, it was so profound. That when you enter a room or when you enter a stage, you go in, you be yourself with no modification, you do the interaction, and you leave without having to worry about what does anyone think about me, what do they feel about me, nothing. And it was so deep and so profound. I think we tend to cage ourselves with the idea of what would other people think. They are far more concerned with their own lives. They are living the movie called My Life and they are the main star in there. Your comfort zone is like the cage, even mine. When I did the very first speaking engagement, trust me, it wasn't easy. I was going to back out one day before. I stood in front of the mirror and I kept saying, magic happens at the end of your comfort zone. Magic happens at the end of your comfort zone. And self-doubt comes in with 100 things like, what if you just go on the stage and you freeze? And what if this? And what if that? So it's gonna be like this. And you need to be prepared. As I said, just a couple of weeks back, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be in Paris. Okay, this is a completely new stage, a completely new audience. What if this? What if that? Now you have to understand, what do you do to equip yourself? Okay, I stood there in front of the mirror. I practiced my talk looking into my eye. Rather than feeling narrowed down by what people or audience will think about me, thinking about my why. My why is to be able to, with that audience, bigger why, to be able to touch, inspire, transform 1 million lives one at a time. With the story I have to share, with what I have to share, with the journey I have to share, with the failure, everything I have to share in that talk that I'm doing there. First of all, I deserve to be there. Okay? Thinking that, oh, it was fluke, it happened. No, I deserve to be there. You need to tell yourself that the opportunity that comes your way, that you deserve that. Second is, what can I do to better prepare, right? So you can do positive visualizations, which is really helpful, which has been proved really, really valid for a whole lot of athletes, a whole lot of trials, science behind it. So positive visualization is basically you deep breathe, you relax yourself, and you go through the experience. Like, for example, here I am, I'm going on the stage. How am I feeling when I'm doing that talk? Yeah. If you think some challenges can arise, think of those challenges and how you encounter them, how you face them head on, how what you had to convey, you do it. Now, this is not just a chore, you live it in the fiber of your being, physically, mentally, you see it, you feel it, you smell it to the depths of it. So positive visualization is extremely profound. You can do it on a daily basis. Reconnecting with yourself, finding your bigger why. So yes, I want to be an international I am an international speaker and an international best-selling author, but is that my why? Does my why stop with it? What is your why? What brings you true joy and fulfillment? What will bring you joy and fulfillment even if you won't pay for it? No, don't give up your day job, but maybe find half an hour in the week to do that, right? So let's summarize. Encountering self-doubt, it will come your way. no matter how far you progress in life, because when you go to the next step, it will come in. Proud list, yeah. Keeping on with the self love mirror exercise every single day. Positive visualization. Finding your why, your bigger why. That is the fuel to keep your rocket ship going no matter what comes in. And self belief. Self belief is profound, and it's called self love and self belief and self esteem for a reason, because it comes from you, not from them or somewhere outside. So, coming to the end of it, I always want to keep it till about half an hour and not go past it. Keep believing in yourself no matter what, even if nobody else does. Keep believing in yourself, even on the days that feel hard. No, I can't do it. You keep believing in yourself. You water it with self love and self acceptance, with the self love mirror exercise, with the proud list, with positive visualization. Dig deep to find your why, your bigger why. So that's your end goal, and the means goal will align. There will be bad days. How do you make it a good bad day? You will fall, failures will come. Because remember, life is not about success or failure. Life is about learning and growth. How do you keep going? So there I am. I will come up with the next episode of the podcast next week. I would love to have your feedback. Lovely having you. Take care. Bye bye.